Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the
Hello.
Leather Armchair Society. I'm Grant.
Josh.
Jacob.
So, this is going to be our second topic. If you haven't watched our first topic, go back and do that now.
It's great.
So good.
We talked about the Olympics,
Rio 2016.
2016. Go America. This topic was brought to you by yours truly. Here it is. I just thought of this like literally 5 minutes ago. So,
Very true.
this topic is, if you could go back in time, or forwards in time, or, I guess, stay in current time, and have...
So basically any time ever.
Any time, if you could be in any time period, and have dinner with one person of your choosing, who would it be, and what would you talk about? We're going to start the timer now. Jacob, you're the guest. Why don't you start?
My future wife. That'd be...
So,
No. Yeah.
Here's the tricky thing about that, though. Would you
be there?
Would you?
What are you trying to say?
Would it be you and you? Like future you? Well, no. Okay, so it's a one-on-one dinner.
It's a one-on-one dinner.
Okay.
So how would you know it's her? Now we're getting into like paradoxes.
Yeah.
Would you do present you having
I would do
dinner with present her, or present you having dinner with
future her.
or with past her, like infant future wife?
I feel it'd be a great story to go back and like tell the kids like, hey.
True.
One time I jumped into the future and had dinner with your mom.
But I was still 21.
And here's the thing, like, what if your future wife knows you now, so she just sees young husband rolling up, and you're like,
whoa.
what?
Like it's somebody you went to like high school with.
God.
What would you guys talk about though? Because here's the thing, I'm gonna lay out some ground rules.
Okay, lay out the ground rules.
You can talk about anything without it affecting your present or your future. So basically what happens is once you have this dinner, they don't remember it, you do.
I don't know.
Guys, I think we're gonna need to use overtime on this one.
This is interesting.
This is hard.
It's like, would it be,
Would it be like, what have we done since we've met?
What
How
have
did we meet?
How is everything? How are the cats?
Are we on the Are we on the verge of divorce?
Do I need to like? Yeah, that'd be a good one. Like, is everything okay? Like,
relationship?
how can I make sure everything ends up well?
Yeah.
When I go back to present time,
Right.
to make sure that everything does.
Would you want to know how, if you didn't already know her, would you want to know like the whole story of how you met and proposed, so you could one up yourself in the future?
Personally, no.
That's good.
Personally, no. I wouldn't want to.
That's good.
Because then I feel that, like, not cheating, but it is cheating.
Yeah, that's very true. But what would you do?
Just talk, like, learn about her.
Having this conversation, if you got to remember it, and then that one day, that one fateful day where you look up and you see the girl from your future
Relief.
standing there, and you're like, wow,
Relief.
there she is.
I can delete Tinder.
You can swipe left on Tinder.
Literally, like, you meet her, and you're like, hold on, 1 second, please.
One moment.
And gone.
But-
Okay.
Here's another thing. Would it affect you forever? Because then,
Because then I know I'm...
are you going to ask for the specific day that you guys met, so then you'll be living the rest of your life, like, in the present, waiting for that one day?
No, because then that's too much waiting.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's going to happen, but you don't know when.
Exactly, and I feel that's... meeting her in the future, like, just knowing that it does happen, and that I did find someone, is good enough for me. I don't need to know how.
Okay.
I don't need to know when, but it's just knowing that it's going to.
It's going to happen.
Okay. I like it. It's a good answer. Josh.
They could make that a great movie. That's
like a good
movie.
like...
That's like
yeah.
Nicholas Sparks. Though.
Exactly. It could go that way. It could be a rom-com.
Or it could be a sci-fi.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
It could be a good
A
sci-fi.
rom-com Nicholas Sparks sci-fi.
Lots of
Sold.
tears and time travel. Tears in Time. That can be the subtitle. Whatever the main title of your movie is going to be, Jacob, and then just Tears in Time Travel.
Based off the Nicholas Sparks almost best-selling novel by the Leather Armchair Society.
Sponsored by Kleenex.
Ah, we're not actually sponsored by Kleenex.
No, the
sorry,
book,
Kleenex.
The book and movie will be though.
Josh,
Whoops.
what was that?
It's a phone. Sorry for all you people on the podcast. That's a hard question. There's a lot of people I like to have dinner with. Probably one that's just like really weird. That'd be interesting to see a glimpse inside their mind of like all the weird stories you hear. Nikola Tesla. A man who supposedly could possibly have tapped into some type of time travel, alteration, alternate power sources no one completely understands, all this stuff. And he sounds like a weird guy. I like weird stuff, and there's like, I would like to have dinner with a lot of people, let's be honest. But it's like one of those that...
That'd be an interesting dinner.
It'd be really interesting.
Would you ask him about his feud with Edison?
Oh, yeah. Ask him about that. Ask him, like, how he got lucky enough to be in The Prestige, one of my favorite movies.
The Prestige and The Illusionist, they came out at like the same time.
Yeah.
They were literally like
and
two
I
studios.
still can't get the two movies straight.
It's very true.
They all kind of just bleed together.
I like the Prestige I saw first, and I've seen the most, I feel like. So that's the one I like.
I watched one of them at work once.
One of them.
One of them.
Did it have Christian Bale in it?
No, it had Edward Norton. That's The Illusionist. There it is.
Done. But yeah, I think it would be an interesting dinner just to hear about science, and I like science. And
See, when you said Nikola, I heard the Ni, and I thought you were going to say Nicolas Cage.
That's exactly what I thought he was going to say too.
I would be interested to hear about his
He
spiral.
can't afford dinner anymore.
That's
He's bankrupt.
I would be buying him dinner. Yeah, that would be interesting.
I would want to see future Nicolas Cage.
Hmm.
Just see what happens to him in the next like 5-10 years.
Yeah.
I already had quite the comic book collection that he actually had to sell, like a bunch of
I'm
really
sure he
really
did.
nice stuff. But that's another discussion for another time. So I'm gonna say Nikola Tesla, just because he seems like a wacky guy in history.
I got 2.
That's breaking rules.
But we got 8 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
2. 1 is Edward Teach.
I thought you were about to say Edward Norton.
AKA Blackbeard.
Ooh.
Now, I went through a phase where I really enjoyed pirate history.
Okay.
And I think he'd be fascinating to learn about, like, from his perspective, because you hear a lot of stories of Edward Teach. He has multiple last names, because nothing was written down properly, so
That's
he's
cool.
also Edward Teach, Edward Thatch, different names, but always Blackbeard. And so, a lot of the rumors are he never actually killed anyone, that he was all show and that sort of thing. I want to know. I want to get into Blackbeard's head. I want to know the real Ed. I want to know the real Eddie.
I'm gonna sit down with Eddie.
Do you think he's Ed? Eddie? Edward? Eduardo?
I think he went by just E.
E?
Just E.
Captain Me, what's going up, man?
Probably not, actually. That doesn't have the ring. But Blackbeard, that's cool.
I think he'd be fun. And then Hitler.
Would you do the deed? Would you take him out?
No.
No? You just want to sit down?
Because the thing is, that's not part of it. That's
true.
just having a one-on-one dinner with
You're
somebody.
not a time travel assassin.
Okay.
Yes. This is not Looper.
Great movie.
Great, good movie. But I think it'd be fascinating.
Hmm?
And I don't know, but the thing is, there's like 3 different time periods of Hitler I could go with. I could go with young Hitler to see the man before the monster.
Okay.
I could go when he's in prison right before he writes Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
And then I could go when he's at the height of his power.
Mm.
And those are 3 totally different conversations, I'd feel like.
Yeah.
Because what happened to Hitler so bad
That he
that he
became
turned into the Hitler we all know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Hitler, for all the shit he gets, Shitler, if you will.
What a name in high school.
That's what happened. He had some jackass like me
was a
bullying
grant.
him, calling him Shitler.
He had a grant in high school.
Oh,
Like,
what's
what?
up? What's up, Assloff Shitler?
That did it.
That
That sent him over the edge.
Way to go, Grant. It's because you went back and had dinner with him. And called him
This
names.
happened, didn't it?
I'm like, first, look, Adolf, you're a terrible person. I'm just gonna start with this. Has anyone ever called you Assloff Shitler?
And if he says yes, you realize what happened.
I've already done it. I've created a time loop.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Ugh.
I just want to know. I want
It
to
was
know.
your fault.
And the thing is, he did some really terrible things, but he also recreated an entire economy.
It's true.
I'd like to see how persuasive he really was.
Yeah.
Like, could he persuade me that everything he did was
That's the
okay?
thing.
Because at
If-
some point in the dinner, you thought, I understand that.
Maybe
Yeah.
this guy is
Like-
right. Which is terrible.
Which is but he was really good with
Hmm.
getting people to follow
I
him.
mean, he got an entire country behind him until they obviously realized, man, this guy's like killing
Yeah.
millions of people.
Yeah,
But that could be really cool.
that would be interesting.
Share a beer. Well, not share a beer. I want my own beer. But sit down and have a beer with the most hated man in history. Arguably the most hated man in history.
Interesting. That would be that would be a.
And here's the thing. I would want that entire conversation to be directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, 100%.
Because he does the
Yes.
best.
Yes.
He does the
Yeah.
best dinner scenes.
100%. It would have to be a Tarantino film.
Guys, we still have 4 minutes.
Yeah. I'm gonna add a second person.
Do it. Add a second person.
Wild Bill Hickok. I did multiple reports on him in grade school, actually.
And who, for the audience?
Yes,
Not for me. I'm asking for a friend.
He was, of course, Wild West renegade, essentially,
I knew that.
and akin kind of to Jesse James type,
Okay.
but kill a lot of people. But I don't know. It's just one of those people that like you study in school,
Mhm.
and it just like sticks with you, kind of thing.
Mhm.
I don't know, I think it would be interesting, and just that whole era of like lone being out, just as a human surviving. Oh, we'll just wait a second. Awesome.
Human surviving.
Yeah, just like a human surviving out in the wilderness in that time period without your technology and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's fascinating and I don't know, literally having standoffs with people where you line up on the street, 10 paces, turn around and shoot a gun.
Like Back to the Future 3.
Literally like Back to the
Just
Future.
wear the stove door under your poncho.
Yep.
Spoiler alert for...
No!
Ugh.
No.
If you haven't seen
spoilers.
Back to the Future 3, it's on Netflix now, so...
That's
It's
true.
my favorite.
Yeah.
It's my favorite one.
I like the train.
I love
I like the train.
Jewel.
Yeah, I would say Wild Bill because of the time period and the Wild West is interesting to me as well.
You got anyone else, Jacob?
James Franco.
James Franco.
Hmm.
He likes jobs.
That'd be a crazy, weird.
That would be
Shia LaBeouf would be
entertaining.
weird too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's his next performance art piece. He's gonna like sit in a gallery and just look at you while you eat dinner.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a reverse art piece.
True.
I feel like James Franco's not that weird. Like he's
I
It'd
feel
be
like-
entertaining. He'd be hilarious.
Here's my thing:
Yeah.
is James Franco actually an intellectual, or is he a pseudo-intellectual?
Mm.
Like, is he one of those douchebags that pretends to be smart, or is he actually smart?
I feel like it could be either one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like it could be either one.
That'd be a good one to like
You wouldn't
sit
know.
down.
Yeah,
and
we
you'd be
wouldn't know
like-
until the dinner
Yeah.
happens.
You'd be like,
let's
"Hey
have
man,
dinner."
are you real smart or are you
Fake smart.
douchebag smart?"
Because I can appreciate either one.
Fair. Fair.
Fake it till you make it. That's what I always say.
That's what James Franco always says.
Mm.
Or is it? We won't know ever, because we're never gonna get to have dinner with James Franco.
This episode of Leather Armchair Society, win a dinner with James Franco.
Yeah. If we get 100 subscribers this week, I will wear a James Franco mask and live stream me eating dinner through said James Franco
Perfect.
mask.
Please subscribe and make it happen. Just share so I can see
I will
that.
just sit at my dining room table,
Yep.
eat Easy Mac.
Perfect.
I love you.
Uh-oh, battery's dead.
Nope.
All right, folks, that's our cue. We have a
change
minute
that real
left
quick.
anyway.
Yeah.
So, actually, that's it. But We appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, remember to like, subscribe, share, follow Jacob on Instagram.
Jacob Mendoza _
There it is. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe. Many blessings. Peace out, Girl Scout.